The habit of claiming as our own, as a vivid, present reality that which we desire with all our heart, is a magnetic power which attracts the things we long for. The more persistently we hold the prosperity thought, the more we strengthen and intensify it, the more we increase its power to attract prosperity. Thinking abundance, visualizing prosperity, will open up the mind and set the thought currents toward increasing supply. We are so made that about all we get in life is the reflex of what first flows out from us. Whatever thought you send out will draw to you in the material world a corresponding reality. Every human being is a magnet, the attractive power of which may be developed in any desired direction. Each one can so direct this power that he can draw to himself whatever he wills. Before your life can be really effective, you must make yourself a magnet for the things that will make it so. You must learn how to attract, how to draw to yourself all that will help you to succeed in your work, that will enable you to attain your ambitions. If poverty is holding you down, you can conquer it by making yourself a prosperity magnet. We are living in the midst of a stream of inexhaustible supply. It is one's own fault if he does not take from this stream whatever he needs. What we get in life we get by the law of attraction. Like attracts like. Whatever you may have managed to get together in this world, you have attracted by your mentality. You may say that you have earned these things, that you have bought them with your salary, the fruit of your endeavor. True, but your thought preceded your endeavor. Your mental plan went before your achievement. The mere changing of your mental attitude will very soon begin to change conditions. Your decision to face toward prosperity hereafter, to cultivate it, to make yourself a prosperity magnet, will tend to draw to you the things that will satisfy your ambition. The text, "He that hath a bountiful eye shall be blessed," is the expression of a fundamental truth. The pictures you make in your mind's eye, the thoughts you harbor are day by day building your outward conditions. They are the real forces working ceaselessly in the unseen, and the more you think and visualize favorable conditions, the more you increase your power to realize them. You make yourself a magnet for the thing you desire. This is a psychological law. If you want to become a prosperity magnet, you must not only think prosperity, but you must also turn your back resolutely on poverty. Begin today. Don't wait for tomorrow or next day. If you don't look prosperous, assume a prosperous appearance. Dress as far as possible like a prosperous man or woman. Walk like one. Act like one. Think in terms of prosperity. A mental healer could not cure a cancer by holding in his mind a picture of the hideous disease, with all its horrible appearances and symptoms. He must eliminate all this from his mind. He must see his patient whole, healthy, clean, just as God intended him to be, free from all disease. He must picture to himself the ideal man and declare his divinity. The same thing is true in curing yourself of poverty. You cannot do this as long as you hold poverty-stricken conditions in your mind. If you want to be prosperous, you must hold the prosperous thought, the prosperous picture in your mind. You must refuse to see or recognize poverty. You must not acknowledge it in your manner. You must erase all marks of it, not only from your mental attitude, but as far as possible from your appearance. If you are not able to wear fine clothes at first, or to live in a fine house, you can radiate the hope and expectancy of the glorious inheritance which is your birthright, and everything about you will reflect this light. Prosperity begins in the mind. You must lay its foundations in your thoughts. Surround yourself with a prosperity atmosphere. In other words, you will build into your environment, into your life, whatever dwells in your mind. We hear of some people that they are always lucky. Everything seems to come their way. Things come their way because there are invisible thought forces radiating from their minds toward the goal they have set for themselves. Things fall in line and come our way just in proportion to the force and velocity of the thought forces we project. Thinking better things might be called the first aid to the poor. To picture yourself as prosperous, living in a comfortable home, wearing good clothes, surrounded with the refinements of life, in a position to do your best work in the service of mankind, this is to put yourself into the current that runs successward. The only real poverty is in the mind, and no one can control one's mind but himself. Never for a moment harbor the thought that anything can come to you but prosperity, for this is your birthright, and because it is, you should demand it. Instead of admitting poverty, say to yourself, "I am in the midst of abundance. I lack nothing that I need because my Father is the infinite source." Turn your back on poverty. Make up your mind that you will never again have anything to do with it, that you will not encourage it by dwelling on and visualizing poverty suggestions. Face toward prosperity. Think of and plan for prosperous conditions. Struggle toward prosperity with all your might, and you will draw it to you. Suppose you are poor and live in a humble home. Just have a talk with your wife and children, and make up your minds that you will all focus on your objective, improved conditions, that you will face the other way, toward prosperity instead of poverty. Say to yourself, "It is a shame for God's children to exhibit such a pauperized appearance. It is a reflection on my Father, Mother God, to go about among my fellows looking as though everything had gone wrong with me, as though I were disappointed with life. This is ungrateful. I can at least show gratitude for health, for the privilege of living in God's pure air and sunlight, by holding up my head and walking erectly, joyously, as His child should. I am really insulting the Creator, to whom I pray, by reflecting such despair and degrading poverty in my mental attitude, thus erasing the divine image from my face. No matter how little I have, I can at least appear respectable. I can show that I respect myself by doing away, as far as possible, with the depressing appearance and influence of poverty." Tidy up your home and make it as neat and cheerful as possible. Do the same with your dress and general appearance. Keep yourself better groomed. Look up, brace up, brush up, struggle up. Surround yourself with an atmosphere of hopefulness and show everybody by the new light in your eyes, the light of hope and expectancy of better things, that there is a change in you. Your neighbors will notice. They will see a change in your home, in your wife, in your children. The change in the mental attitude of yourself and family through facing toward the light instead of darkness, toward hope instead of despair, will make a tremendous change in your whole outlook on life. In this way, you are making yourself a prosperity magnet. You are radiating thought waves of hope, of ambition, of determination. Your new mental attitude is expressed in an erect, manly carriage, in squared, thrown-back shoulders, in a neat, clean appearance, even though the clothing may be old and threadbare, in a winning, forceful, magnetic countenance. You are thus establishing the conditions of success. The positive prosperity thought flows out like wireless current and connects itself with similar thought currents. Hold the prosperity conviction. Work steadily toward your object. See opportunity and success in your vista. Determine to be somebody. Hold firmly to the resolve, and your mentality will direct the invisible magnet of your personality to lift you higher and higher, to attract toward you others who will help you in the direction in which you are moving. To get away from poverty is one thing. To set one's heart on money as the ultimate good is another, and quite a different thing. There is a whole world of difference between so saturating one's mind with the thought of money and its acquisition that there is no room for any other aspiration. Just this radical change of thought, this transposition of mental attitude, the persistent holding of the prosperous viewpoint for a year, would not only change their whole outlook on life, but would revolutionize their material conditions.